Welcome back to Passionately Catholic. Something that I really enjoy about being Catholic are all of the different miracles and incredible things that happen, like with the Eucharist and in the lives of the saints. I want to share one of those with you today. St. Alphonsus Liguori is one saint among many who had the gift of the Holy Spirit known as bilocation. So he could be in two places at the same time. So back in 1774, St. Alphonsus Liguori was a priest, of course, and he celebrates Mass. And after Mass, he sat down in his armchair. I don't know if it was like a recliner or what, but kind of laid down in his chair, which he was not likely to do. This didn't happen very often with him. And he sat there, and his brothers, fellow priests, they looked at him and they're like, what's he doing? Like, Alphonsus doesn't do this. And he continued to sit there, and hours go by, and he's not really responsive. Doesn't talk to them. He's not taking food. He's not getting up and moving around. He's not saying anything. They didn't realize that he was actually in a state of ecstasy, okay? And where was he? This is the fun thing. They had no idea about this. So what ended up happening is this went on for the entire day. Alphonsus is staying in his chair, and the whole night goes by, and then the next morning, and his brothers and fellow priests, they're like, what is going on? What do we do? After a little while, they hear a bell ringing, and St. Alphonsus Liguori is ringing this bell, calling for people to come to celebrate Mass, right? And they're like, what? They were so surprised. They all come running, and they see him, and they're like, oh, and he's like, why are you guys so surprised? And they're, well, you've been unresponsive for the last, day. You haven't taken any food. You haven't said anything. What's been going on? And he explained to them that they needed to celebrate Mass for the intentions of the Holy Father, for the Pope, because the Pope had just died, and he had been assisting the Holy Father as Pope Clement. I can't remember, maybe the 14th? I can't remember exactly which number. St. Alphonsus Liguori was there bilocating, and he was assisting the Holy Father as he was nearing death. And the Holy Father had died. It was around 7 a.m. in the morning, and that was the time when St. Alphonsus had broken free from the ecstasy, and then he was back, present, if you will, with his brothers. Okay, so he was in these two places at the same time. This is one of the fun things that I really love about Catholicism, is that the Holy Spirit works in incredibly profound ways, and there are many examples from the lives of the saints that are not that long ago. I mean, St. Alphonsus Liguori, 1774 is when this event took place. So, we've got good eyewitness testimony of these events and what happened, which is certainly unlike and much better than certainly events from ancient history. So I'd encourage you, if you're passionate about your Catholic faith, is to dig in deeper and to learn about some more of these stories and examples, because there's just so many of them out there, and there's so much fun to read about, and I find them very inspiring as well, and even to share with young children and inspire them in their faith as well. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Passionately Catholic and click that bell icon so that YouTube has to tell you every time we post a new video like this one. I wish you all God's abundant blessings and peace. And as always, a special thank you goes out to all of our patrons, especially those on Patreon, who keep us going and growing here at Passionately Catholic through their support. And I look forward to being in touch again very soon.